This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Dillian Whyte over Zoom. Dean, how are you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, was it Vegas nights and that, yeah? Daytime pool parties, what a life, eh? Andy the stud, come on. Andy the stud in the pool party. Jeez, hey, listen. Now, that was good times, man. You know, this world, the times we're in now is strange times, you know what I mean? To have a bit of fun and live a little bit of life. It was really good at that time, you know, and he was getting some good work. But yeah, I'm all good. Just here, happy everything's slowly getting back to normal and stuff. And now, you know, delighted to have launched my Blvck Box Global to start doing my own promotion and getting my shows on the way. So yeah, couldn't be more thrilled.
Let's start with that, Dean. Obviously, you mentioned Blvck Box Global. For how long have you been working on that, and what made you want to enter the world of promoting shows?
Do you know what? We've been when we first done it, we applied for the application in 2019 before COVID. So it's been a little while. It's been in the makings, you know. I love the sport of boxing, you know. Big fan of the boxers, the guys that, you know, are the gladiators that kind of do everything to entertain us as sports fans and stuff. The media aspect, the fans and stuff like that. And you know, I just feel like there's, you know, as a man of color, I feel like there's not many, you know, young black promoters in the sport. So I feel like, you know, there was an opportunity. I had a good talk with Barry, and he was like, you know what, you know, have a look at it. Barry Hearn, that is, anyway. He said, have a look and, you know, think of the predecessors and what happened to those guys and, you know, where they went wrong and stuff like that. So, you know, and he said, look, I'll help and be your mentor and stuff and do, you know, guide any information he has. And there's other guys that help and guide. So yeah, it was something I felt like there needs to be a bit of diversity in the sport, and the sport needs to open up. And it was just a right move, you know. And it's easier when you've got your own platform as well to get things done with boys and build them in the fashion that you want them to be in, and as a prospect to maybe make them more active, get them out, and then when they do go to the bigger promoters and fight, that they're prepared and they're not just thrown in straight at the deep end. Because at the minute, a lot of the boys, if they're fighting on Matchroom and it shows like that, they're straight in at the deep end. You know what I mean? There's no time for building process and stuff like that. And with any business or anything you're doing in life, there needs to be a infrastructure that's built correctly. If you miss any steps, you know, you'll be found out wanting at some stage, you know. I like what Matchroom's done with Conor Benn. They've built him, you know, they've invested a lot of time and money, and that's someone they've done that with. Not everyone has that opportunity, though. Not a lot of the fighters have that opportunity to be given that time and coming through. And Conor's shining right now, you know. He's definitely a great prospect. You can see he's come on leaps and bounds, and it's good. So that's, you know, I want to be in that kind of thing where I'm in that process of watching people build their career and I'm molding their career. God willing, that, you know, it goes according to plan, and that, you know, I'm building a good team and people that are, you know, keen and interested to kind of want to come on board and see the vision and what I'm trying to do. And it's great times, man. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of support, man, and I'm thankful for that, you know.
November 6th is what's penciled in to be your first show, Dean. How are preparations going with trying to get things in place? How are you finding it?
You know what? I don't know. It's just like my everyday life. It's just hectic, and I'm just up and down, and I'm kind of talking to various different people and putting stuff together. But you know what? Because I do the music management, and we do shows. My business partner does shows, big shows anyway for the artists. It's kind of similar, he says. You know what I mean? It's just obviously it's a different thing. But when you're putting on festivals and shows in any aspect, there's a similar. You know, you get the running order, you get, you know, there's kind of, you get bands, you get tickets, you promote it, and so on. So it's kind of similar. So I've got a good set of people that are around in many different levels as well. And you know, there's a lot of support and people wanting to help as well, because, you know, they believe this is a lane that, you know, I'm suited to, kind of thing. You know what I mean? They say, you know, you talk well, you come across well. So, you know, it'll be good. So yeah, I'm just happy, man. I think at the moment, all the promoters I have spoken to all been like, well, it's not that good. It's stressful. It's this, it's that. And I say, well, boy, you know, it is what you make it, man. You know what I mean? Life is stressful. You know what I mean? So right now, this is giving me a different perspective, a different outlook, something different. It's new, it's vibrant, it's fresh. So for me now doing this, it's just different eyes I have. Maybe down the line, you know, it might start to become stressing when things happen which are out of my control and I can't get to deal with. That's when it may become an issue and things I haven't dealt with and I'm not used to. So let's see. There's a lot of work to do, and I'm relishing the work because you know I'm a Virgo as well, by the way, and we're meticulous. You know, we like to look good, we like to dress, we like to put things together well. And well known around, you know, in London, around the town, and through boxing and without boxing as well. So, you know, I've got a lot of love around. So, you know, I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, saying, you know, it's a good move. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy to get on, and I want to do a good show for the people and bring something different. So it's going to be good. We're working on some really different and interesting things. So yeah.
Well, Dean, I look forward to seeing your first show. But as we know, we're a little pressed for time because you've got some fighters going into the gym shortly. So I just want to get your thoughts on some big heavyweight fights coming up. Obviously, an exciting time for the division. Obviously, next week, AJ-Usyk. Just want to start off there. What's your thoughts now? We're only about, 12 days away or so?
Yeah, it's funny. I saw AJ last night. He weren't in the club, but it was a couple of his boys. They were there doing a video called him, so they brought him over, and I was chatting to him on a video. I see he looks rough. His hair looks grown out. But he was happy to see, man. He was like, yeah, boom, I'm ready. I said, yeah, you're looking strong. I said, we'll try and catch up. Maybe I'll go down to the press conference. I might go to the fight. I'll have to catch up with them and see what can happen. But he's looking well. He's in good spirits. It seems he looked like he probably would have liked to have been there if he weren't fighting, because he's normally like that hangout. That's what his guys do and stuff. So but he looks cool. You know what I mean? It's interesting. You know, I want him to win. It's definitely a big fight. It's definitely going to be something new for the fans, especially, 60,000 capacity. You know, it's going to be obviously post Canelo in America, which was 80,000-90,000. That's going to be the biggest we've had in a long time. So it's going to be great times, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think everyone can tune in and, you know, go there and celebrate freedom to some degree. And yeah, I'm sure they're going to be in for a good fight, because look, that Usyk is very good. Make no bones. Obviously, he's a decorated amateur, won everything. Went cruiserweight, undisputed, and all that. And now he's come up to heavyweight. I'm not gonna lie, he hasn't looked the greatest. I can see splits and parts of his greatness in some of the stuff he does. He's going to be obviously a lighter mover, but Joshua moves very well. Since the loss to Andi Ruiz, he's set out his stool a little bit different, and I'm sure he's got very good sparring partners. So I expect him to be well prepared for Usyk on that night, and I'm going to be rooting for him to do some damage, and maybe you know, pull off a great knockout. You know what I mean? So that's what we're looking for. But yeah, good times, man. Good times.
Fury-Wilder 3, only a couple of weeks after that. Before we do come on to Tyson's list where he mentioned Dillian, just get your thoughts on Fury versus Wilder in their trilogy bout.
You know what? I see Malik Scott's in the camp. Malik Scott is very technical, very good. He was a very good boxer in his time when he was 36, 37 and old, before he lost to, was it Derek or whoever it was, in Wilder and so on. And I feel like he'll add something to it. Is it going to be enough to change the outcome of the previous two defeats, as far as I was concerned? I know one was a draw, a bait, but I mean, it was, as far as when you get a hometown decision as a draw, you know, the likelihood is it would have been a loss anywhere else in the world, and him being the world champion. So I think, like, I can't see anything different, but then I don't know what Fury's going to turn up, because Fury says he's not fighting, then he says he's fighting. Yeah, then he says he's going to do this, then he does that. You know, Fury, he's very unpredictable. A lot of people are saying it might not go, and that's why it might not go. And a lot of people are saying the reason he mentioned Dillian's name in that bizarre breakdown of people who he's going to fight and he's going to slap around is because they want to drum up business and make, you know, back and forward with Dillian for their fight, to people to put eyes on their fight. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Look, I'm a fan of Tyson Fury for what that is as a boxing fan. He's very technical. He's gifted. He talks a lot of smoke, which is part of the game as well, and he backs it up. So let's see what happens. I'll probably tune into it. I probably won't stay up to watch it. I'll just watch it in the morning. I'm good with that. You know, make sure I get me old beauty sleep, and I'll watch it in the morning. You know, when you sit up and watch fights, man, 5 o'clock, they ruin you. You don't even, your whole Sunday is absolutely destroyed. But let's see what happens. It's a fight I'm tuning in for, and I'm sure a few fans are going to tune in for. But I do hope, I somewhat believe we'll see a better Deontay Wilder because of what it is. He does look a bit, I don't know what the word is I use. He doesn't look comfortable doing what he does, but I see what they're trying to implement. I see what they're trying to do. He doesn't look as fluid as, you know what I mean, as like Tyson Fury, for example, when he moves and does. You know, there's a lot more fluidity in what he does. But look, let's see October the 9th. Great shit in the sport of boxing, 2 heavyweight great fights. And Dillian's fighting October at the end of the month as well, October the 30th. So we're going to be in for a triple bonanza of heavyweight fights in like basically the space of a month.
Dean, just on Dillian, as we mentioned, the Tyson Fury call out, what have you made of their interactions over Twitter between Tyson and Dillian, their back and forths? And also, do you think we could see Tyson versus Dillian in December? You still there? Can you hear me, Dean?
Hold on, sorry, bear with me.
I've got you.
Yeah. Someone tried to call me. I just hanged up. But what I'm saying, if I was a betting man, I doubt that very highly. I spoke to Tyson Fury in Vegas after that fight in the pub. I had a drink with them, and he said he was going to give Dillian his opportunity, and he seems sincere. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet. But look, he's still there. I don't know if Dillian's waiting in the wings for that kind of thing. But look, it was quite enthralling on Twitter, the battle of words. And so, listen, it would make a hell of a fight. Both guys can talk their socks off, and both guys are versed at, you know, insults and derogatory terming and putting people down and so on. So I think it would be a hell of a imagine a press conference with those two chatting. We're gonna have to keep a good 6 hours worth of time for that, and we need to make sure we got a lot of water to keep hydrated, because trust me, those two are gonna go out, and it might just kick off, and the table might go flying again.
Dean, with Dillian, obviously there's talk about his opponent for the end of October. Nothing official yet. Chris Arreola is the name which Eddie's mentioned. Can you update us anymore?
I think that's as much as it can go. You know, I don't know, because I know they was in talks with Jermaine Franklin, that was mentioned, but obviously, like Eddie said, the leading guy is Arreola at the minute. But look, you know, until it's done, you never know what happens, man. This is all. This is boxing. And, you know, things change in a blink of an eye, you know what I mean? Especially opponents, because of whatever reason. And as we're in a COVID time, we got to, you know, it's a bit tricky even now, but the two running targets are those guys. And I know there's talk of, you know, Dillian's been wanting to fight Andrew Ruiz for a while also, so I don't think that's going to happen on this one here. But let's see. Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll be updated, and I can't give any more information than what they've already given, you know? I'm just looking forward to whatever happens in the next few months of boxing as a fan, as being part of boxing, and continue developing my own brand and my company and what we're going to be doing. So, yeah, good times. Let it roll on, man.
Dean, just a final thing before I let you go. Obviously, this weekend we saw kind of a sad stoppage defeat for Evander Holyfield against Vitor Belfort. I just wanted to get your take on it. What did you make of it? What did you make of seeing Evander stopped in that fashion?
Do you know what? One thing we know is you don't play boxing, man. As much as Evander Holyfield looks the part, it looks the real deal. As we saw, the real deal is, you know, far from what it was on the night. Father Time, the clock has caught up to him, and yeah, it just didn't work out for him. You know, even though Vitor is still old, he's in his 40s, but he's a lot younger, you know, he's still got that spunk in him. He's got that rare. I don't know, Evander was saying about the knockdown. He just weren't really responding, to be honest, as you'd like to think. And you've got to think of the fighter's health as well. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want him to be in there and something, if he left him in them split seconds too long, what happens to him after, you know? He's had a long, hard career, taking a lot of punishment before, and he's still got his faculties, you know? So he needs to count his lucky stars. I know this is probably more so about money than anything else. That's what I'd, think. But it's a shame, you know, a lot of these guys are coming back for the money because, there's big money on the table now, but they're trying to ruin their legacy. I guess they probably think, screw the legacy, let's get the bag because I can't pay the electric bill. So I don't know. I probably don't blame him. Oh, David's in there as usual. David Hay, the yarn spinner, doing a great job. He managed to get his win, and now he's calling out Tyson Fury. David's funny.
What did you make of that, Dean? Would you be interested, Tyson versus David?
Nah, not at all. He's a shrewd businessman. Look, if he can get the fight, kudos to him, credit to him. I'm not going to stop and hate on no one's bag. But, these boys, there's fights to be made, which people want to see with the guys in the generation we're in. We're in a generation where it's a different one. There's the likes of Dillian, Andi, Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, and there's probably, Joe Joyce, right at the neck. There's Usyk. There's loads of fights right now, what we'd want to see more so than David Hay fighting Tyson Fury. It's just not going to work out at all, any good at all. So that one, but like I said, if he gets it, kudos to him. It's about bread, it's about getting your thing, and I'm not going to hate on a man's thing. He's not a bad guy. He does his thing. When we was coming up, he was one of the guys you wanted to see. Playing his music, ain't no stopping us now, and smoking people out of there. You get me? So it's good. Let him do his thing, man. Credit to him. Congratulations that he got the win. You know what I mean?
Right, Dean, we'll leave that there now because it is 5 past and I know you got to shoot off to train, guys. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thanks very much. As always, Andy the man.